Chapter 14. "Tell me again why we had to leave the Omni-Terrain bus," said Attila, looking around warily, his senses doubtless high. "This is a manoeuvre, chum," said Dick Daniels, his gun tilted slightly toward the ground, but obviously ready. "We're just looking over territory. I don't think we're going to run into anything much." "This is the place where the sporting safari ran into the hunters," said Machiko. "We're just having a look, checking out the lie of the land, and operating as a unit for the first time. Which reminds me." She clicked on her wrist radio. "Unit, how are we doing?" The answers ticked off one by one from the 20-member team. They'd spread out in a wing formation, covering this open area of ground. Machiko could see them all, but she figured that as long as you had technology, you should use it. Besides, she wanted to make sure the stuff still worked. The sun had just lifted off the horizon, and mists were rising up like moody chromatic wraiths from vines in the yanga trees. The air smelled ripe and yeasty, with a damp chill soon to be burned off by the sun, but enough to give early risers a shiver or two. Machiko still had the taste of good coffee in her mouth. She savoured it, as did the rest of the men. As Daniels had said, at least the food and drink are good on this gig. Food, in fact, seemed to be on everyone's mind. "So what's for lunch?" said Lou McCracken, still yammering away as usual. "Shit on a shingle," snarled Truck Tankersley, a grotty short toad of a man with a foul mouth, a foul mind, but the record for the most bugs obliterated of the lot of them. "Yeah," said Nick Gillespie. "Question is it good shit?" "I don't know," said Machiko, trying to keep in the jocular mood of the bunch. "You want me to call back to the bus and check?" "Good idea," said Marino, squinting into the dark below the mists. "I got a feeling looking forward to something's good idea on this particular mission." Machiko shrugged and looked over to Sanchez on her right side. "What do you think, Ned?" He smiled at her. "Better to think about beans and franks than lurking death. I say, go for it." "Yeah," said Daniels. "We got guys back on the bus. Might as well have them do something other than sit around with their thumbs up their butts." "Well, I should hope they're not preparing the food," sniffed Attila. "Right, and I should hope it's something better than beans or cream chip beef," grumbled Daniels. "Let's check." She tapped out the numbers, spoke into the radio node sticking in front of her face. "Yo, Michaels." A bit of static in her ear, then, "Got you." "How's it look there on the bus?" "Still all bozos here." Pause. "About the same as before. You guys just left minutes ago." "Well, you know the saying, an army travels on its stomach. So we were just wondering here, what's for lunch?" Lane Michaels laughed. "You mean that big ice chest they sent with us? I've been wondering about that myself. Maybe I better get that lawyer in to work on it." Machiko laughed. "You do that. Get him to do something other than cower in the back." Abner Brookings was turning out to be something less than the great white hunter he fancied himself. He hadn't wanted to come along on this mission, but Evanston had ordered him to do so he could pinpoint for the group the exact location. Brookings at least had the gift of a quick and smooth tongue, and he persuaded Machiko to allow him to hang back as consultant rather than directly participate in the manoeuvres. His inexperience, he claimed, might hamper this operation. But please, don't tell the old man Evanston. In return, he promised to have another look at Machiko's contract and provide her with free legal help. The ashen pallor on his face informed her that this was no act. Although he had a gun, it was clear that his enthusiasm for weapons had waned somewhat. Just as well, really. Amateurs and guns generally don't mix. "I'm not cowering at all," declared Brookings' voice abruptly. "I'm available for consultation, and I'm performing valuable help in guarding your means of transportation back." There wasn't a trace of irony in the man's voice, which ingratiated him to her not a whit. "That's very kind of you. We do appreciate that effort. Now, could you both check that storage box?" There was a moment of silence, followed by thumping and opening sounds. Michaels came back online. Lots of cheese, fruit, nice ham, crusty bread. Looks mighty tasty. Think I'll make myself a sandwich right now." "I think you better consult with Mr. Lawyer there on the legal implications before you do that," said Machiko, laughing. But I think you'll have a few disgruntled comrades as well. Oh, yeah. Guess that wouldn't go down too well. Dumb voice with fake realization. Right, just stay on call, both of you. We're getting into the area where you said you were attacked, Brookings. Good. Keep your line open. I'll do what I can from here. Just because she was actually glad he didn't come along didn't mean she couldn't rib him about the subject. Besides, the other guys were in on the joke. It kept things light in the face of some pretty heavy-duty danger. In fact, they were entering some heavier growth, just as Brookings had described. Without focusing, Machiko could almost imagine herself on some African veld, approaching forest. However, there were no earthy leaves that looked quite like the ones that dangled in the breeze, glistening with jewel-like dew. Anything, Till? Nope, no sign of bodies. She didn't really expect any. When working covertly like this, the Oucher tended to take their grisly trophies and dispose of the bodies cleanly. Still, you never knew, and she actually approved of Evanson's suggestion. She wasn't thrilled with the idea of coming up against a pack of hunters so soon, but she honestly didn't expect any such contact. 2, it was good work to work with these people. On the way out they'd been an unruly lot, joking and cursing and laughing. Now though, they were falling into line, like a practiced crack unit. Zorski had chosen well. Just a minute, said Attila. I'm picking up something. Machiko's stomach lurched a moment, that familiar surge of fear. However, the adrenaline kick that followed evened her out, even thrilled her. This was what she'd been seeking, this moment of on-edge aliveness. Anything specific? Odd. It's about 60 yards over there, among the bush. Residual traces of burning, carbon ash, acid, biological residue. We better go check it out then, eh? Yeah, that would be a good idea, said Daniels. Ned and I will take point, if you like. No, just back us up. Attila knows how to use the sensor unit. The android had an instrument sensor pack to account for his talents, but in truth, he was relying mostly upon his internal nodes. Sure, go ahead. Ned, you better go with them, though. Right. The dark eyes remained expressionless, absolutely free of fear or nervousness. There was, however, a flicker of something in them now, a crinkle of a smile, as though Sanchez was grateful to help out. Machiko felt an unfamiliar warmth in her heart at the sign. The guy liked her, wanted to watch out for her. An instinctual man-woman thing. Not that she needed it. She watched her own ass for a long time, but it warmed her cockles. Maybe, just maybe, she wouldn't mind warming his. There might be some other perks to this job. All right, she said. Let's do it. The 3 of them, weapons at the ready, moved ahead into the area that Attila had indicated. They walked through weeds and brush, and the sweet smell of bright flowers. The mist was gone now, and the sun was fully launched, chasing away most of the shadows. They passed through a stand of trees into another clearing, cautiously. Immediately Machiko's nostrils flared. A harsh, acrid smell assaulted them. Damn, no wonder your sensors beeped. What is that? Burned shell? Burned insulation? Burned blood? All of them. Over there, said Attila. Right, I can see it, said Sanchez. Machiko could see it too, poking above a clump of grass, some kind of greasy, blackened pile. Something dead, she said. Yeah, but no flies, said Sanchez. Correct. Presumably this planet has other decompositional agents. I don't know. Even a bacterium couldn't grow in that, said Sanchez. Machiko stepped up to it. At first it looked like the remains of some kind of garbage heap fire, but then she started to discern identifying details. Looks like the burned remains of a bug. That would explain the acrid odour. Burned acid. Machiko found a stick and poked around. I detect metal and plastic and glass as well, said Attila. Machiko poked some more. Overturned fused glass and blackened circuitry. Analysis? Too far gone to tell, said Attila. Looks like somebody threw some equipment on top of a bug body, doused it with an incendiary chemical, and then torched it, said Sanchez. But why? Some sort of cover-up? What, by the alien hunters? To hide their presence? Said Attila. That must be it. On top of a bug and equipment? I don't know. Maybe they were hiding the equipment too? Maybe it was just convenient. Maybe we should take back a specimen? A yelp over the radio, echoed by a real-life vocalization beyond the tree. Then, Noguchi, you better get back here. Daniel's voice. Right, come on guys. It could be the predators. She steeled herself. She wasn't particularly ready for them today. But then, was anyone ever ready for them? They ran back. She expected to hear the sounds of battle at any second, the sizzle of blasters through the air, the booms of explosions. Instead, she saw merely that the party had moved closer together, and weapons aimed towards a clump of bush. She ran up to Daniels. What's going on? Something's in there. Could be some kind of animal? The bushes shook. Something stood up, staggered out. Weapons raised. No, hold your fire. The figure stumbled into a clearing. Blood, torn clothing. A woman. She gripped a gun, but made no effort to use it. She just staggered forward. Stay back, said Machiko. The woman stopped, fell to her knees. Thank God, she said. Thank God you've come for me. It's one of the damned guests, said Daniels. She survived somehow. How come you didn't go back? The woman shook her head dizzily. Don't know. Unconscious. Well, don't just sit around gawking, said Machiko. Give the lady some water. She's probably dehydrated. Water was administered, and then a name was obtained. Petra Pitsky, said Machiko over the radio. Ring any bells, Brookings? I don't believe it. I thought she was dead. There was this... Whatever, we're bringing her in. She needs medical attention. You want to break out the first aid kit? Of course. Pitsky drank some water. With the help of a man to either side of her, she was able to walk. Pitsky, what did you see out there? Machiko asked her. Monsters. Killers. Then her head slumped, eyes dimming, as though to escape. Let's get her some help, and then we'll think about looking around some more. Actually, Machiko had pretty much found what she wanted to find. She tested the mettle of her people and was satisfied that she had a cracked troop. Anything else would be pushing things too far. They'd probably stretched their luck far enough, and when you dealt with the predators, luck was a commodity you didn't play games with.